For those of you who are here, the early birds, did I deliver? Guys, did I deliver?
Hi, and welcome to Career Cruise. Today I'm joined by Najda Khan, the lovely Najda Khan. Career Cruise is where we discuss people's journeys. We talk about their highs, their lows, a lot of humble hapa na pale, but generally to celebrate where they are at in their careers. As you know, Career Cruise is a baby of networking in Hills, so keep it here for much more news on that. So today we're here with Najda, who is a celebrated HR, human resource professional. She has done so much more than that, and we're here to celebrate that and just talk about that. So Najda, first of all, welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you for being here today. I'm so excited. I just wanted to know, was this always your dream, or what has your journey been like? How did you land here from the moon? Like, you know?
Yeah. So no, and I think it's a trait many people in HR share.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone I've spoken to in my 15-year experience now is was this like your first choice? Did you actually just wake up one day and say I want to become HR?
Yeah.
And it never was. It started from different career trajectories, and then it always includes that one manager or that one person who sees something in you and they're like, can you just handle this this, like exiting this stuff or onboarding this stuff, and then he or she realizes you have a knack for this, and you realize I'm really good at this.
Yes.
But one thing everyone has in common who's in HR, you have to be a people person.
Okay.
So that's probably, I knew I was a people person from before. I just never knew I wanted to do HR. But then when I was being in corporate for as long as I have, I realized back in so this is predating 15 years ago.
Okay.
Because I've been in HR now 15 years. It was just interacted very well with people. I had a lot of empathy. My emotional intelligence has always been high. I think that just comes because of, having the background that I did. I was an adult from a very young age, before there's an adult.
Are you first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should have just said that.
Yeah.
That would have covered it. Yeah. So I think having a high EQ and then all that, so it just kind of fit in. So one day, 15 years ago, somebody just told me, you know what, you need to deal with this, deal with that, deal with this. And the next thing I know, I'm in HR. Yeah, and it's been 15 years.
So tell me, did you go for training, like proper training, like take a degree or what?
So at that point, obviously, it was just testing the waters.
Yeah.
But for a very short time, it didn't take long for me to realize this is what I want to do forever. Because so it was born out of passion, which is beautiful. Not many people get to say that about their careers. So I at least
Lucky girl.
Yeah. So for all of those of us who are doing this out of passion, kudos to all of you, all of us. And so obviously after that, I did take up SHRM. So the whole thing here was, only thing I knew as I entered into HR is I don't want to do it the way I'm seeing it being done. That's it.
How was it being done at the time?
HR, again, first of all, I don't call myself an HR professional anymore. It's people and culture.
Oh, people and culture.
If you look at human beings as resources, it's not right. And then we come from a people
because
space.
A chair is a resource.
Exactly.
A table is a resource.
A printer is a resource.
All right.
So you're not a human being is not a resource.
Okay.
At least don't. It has a derogatory note to it. So you say people and culture expert or people and culture practitioner. Because now you're dealing with people. You're calling them people because that's what they are.
Yes.
And once. That was the shift, the paradigm shift HR needed. We stopped looking at them as numbers and on a paper and ways to make profit, and started looking at them as people. And the paradigm shift globally happened when
the human experience.
Yes.
Okay.
And now you deal with them as people, and then that's where the culture comes in, and you're still getting all the things you were getting done as HR, but so much more. Performance increases when you start looking at a person as a person. You know, it's something that we can all relate to. You don't need to be in HR.
Yeah.
So for me, I just knew I didn't want to do it as it was. And back in that time, and it still is, unfortunately, in many parts of Africa, Kenya included, we still are dealing with HR in the way that is looked at as the back office, payroll, hire, fire. Because that's it.
HR is not even client facing many times. HR is sort of like what I think even accountants are more client facing because accountants are the suppliers.
But that's for organizations that look at HR practitioners as non-client facing without realizing your people are your biggest clients, right? So your people are happy within your organization, your clients are happy.
It's true.
So we're giving so much focus on the outside client who's paying and not the inside, that resource that is the one that's going to make your client. I mean, if people are happy, your clients are happy, and the person making those people happy is people and culture practitioners. And you know we weren't. So at the end of the day, you looked at as the person who does payroll, the person who does HF and SSF gets all those things done, and then when the manager messes up a certain redundancy or just sacked somebody without notice. Okay, here's HR, please handle the...
Imagine.
That's how it was looking.
So you're like cleaning up the mess.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not the role.
Yeah,
our role is much more strategic. We are business partners, and that's what people need to be looked at. People, culture experts need to be looked at as. And once, I told you there was a global paradigm shift, and it's happening now in Africa. We see a lot of bigger companies taking a much more best practice global approach to people and culture and HR. But now we are playing a strategic role.
So
we become a business partner to the business plan.
I like what you said. And today being International Women's Day, and happy International Women's Day, by the way. How do you feel like, yes, the global shift has happened, or rather is happening?
It's happening here.
What do you feel like now as HR has changed?
In terms of changing.
Yes, it's changing. Yes, I like that. It's changing.
So far from change.
It's
changing. Yeah, we're optimistic. And I know a lot of people who are in the field like me who are working towards ensuring this change takes place. It changes for the best. But one thing that's changing is obviously institutions like the IHRM. For example, we in the weaker West, East and Central African region, Kenya boasts as the only country that has a professional body, government appointed professional body that is streamlining HR professionals. And the fact remains that let's call a spade a spade. Maybe the HR fraternity will come at me with pitchforks and knives, but the fact is the just any woman was picked up, or the secretary, and was just told you're the HR. And that's how it used to happen. And unfortunately, that's what gave HR the look of you're hiring, firing, and it's just women, or a bitter woman, just an angry woman. Because that's all you were looked at as. And people are scared about HR because why? First of all, the human resource part of it. We needed to you stop looking at people as resources. And number two, because they didn't have the right training and the right trajectory that this is where people and culture is going towards. So those were the...
So two things. You've mentioned IHRM, which is international.
No, it's the national.
So it's the Institute
of Human Resource Management.
Management.
And it's the government appointed body for HR practitioners
here in Kenya.
So what happens is if you're an HR practitioner, you have to have gone certain training and schooling, and then you go to them, you become a member. By the time you're becoming a member, you have to have met a certain criteria. And then there's different levels. You get a practicing certificate. If you're practicing HR, you become a fellow member. You know, there's different categories. But the minimum requirement is that you're a member, and to become a member, you have met the basic criteria.
So do they offer trainings?
They do. They offer a lot of trainings. They also partner with some other organizations that give trainings, but basically CPD, so career progression, like development, you know. So you have to. So even me, so I have 15 years. I'm a member of IHRM,
and you still have
a practicing certificate. But every year you have to do some CPD training to ensure that you are your career is developing still. You're not just
so
stagnant.
you're progressing and
Yes,
developing and
exactly.
even being updated on
exactly,
different practices.
Exactly.
So now here
this-
at Career
yeah.
Cruise, what we do, we like to tell people how, if someone is interested in being HR, maybe they see someone there and thinking, hey, that's a HR, I'd like that job.
Yeah.
You know, like what would their path be like for them? And also like in terms of IHRM, I also want to celebrate you
Okay.
on your recent victory.
Thank you.
Because Najda was number 2 HR director in Kenya.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a small thing. And given the fact that you've had your own challenges,
Yeah.
so maybe you can also tell our community at Career Cruise, like how to approach challenges at work. Because many times people say, I had a flow and HR didn't want to understand that I can't come to work. So, like what does that look like in terms of, what would you tell people in terms of managing themselves at work despite their challenges, and what support they can seek? That's one question. And number 2, like what's the path like to become an HR? Yes.
So let me start there with number 2, because that's where we were already on.
Yes.
So I'd say that, listen, first of all, to become an HR, I'm going to say HR for the purpose of people
of the conversation
more. To become an HR, it might seem like it's all roses and daisies, but it's not. I would say that it's fun. If you love people, absolutely do it. But don't get pulled into this whirlwind of I can just get into it and do it.
Okay.
If you want to become an HR professional, please go and search jobs, for example, right now. LinkedIn, wherever you're searching. Every job opening will ask you, are you a member of the certified body?
Okay.
Do you have a practicing certificate? So it's not that easy to just think, I'm going to do HR anymore. The tides have changed.
Okay.
This is now, it's actually punishable by law to be practicing HR.
Wow.
Like without being a member and having a certain
That's
qualifications.
encouraging.
Exactly. So because you're dealing with people, you can't just, we can't have, like, it's like doctors and lawyers. You can't just have quacks come in.
Okay.
They all have bodies that are governed and make sure that this doctor and this lawyer are able to practice. It's the same with HR.
I didn't know that. So I'm actually very jazzed.
Yeah, so it's actually giving people like us who've been in 15 years. I know people who've been 30, 40 years in this field. It's given us something to be so proud of, because we know the value of the job we hold, the job we do, and how much impact it has. So to finally be recognized as somebody who has a practicing certificate and has been allowed to practice because of their achievements, because of their studies and everything. So I would say there's CHRM, there's ACHRP, there's all these. So CHRP, these are all examination bodies that are recognized in Kenya. And this is where you need to go and sit and do your exam. So just check their websites, check the pricing. Most of them have evening classes because they recognize that people are working.
Anything virtual?
Unfortunately, not so much.
Okay.
I know like CHRP has been posting, we're trying to get virtual.
Okay.
So they will eventually. But for now, evening classes, you get it done. You get there are different levels again. If you're going to start diploma level, degree level. If you already have a degree, you go in, then they tell you, okay, you start at this level. So you have to be able to get some things. Or if you already went to university, maybe you did a bachelor's, now you want to do your master's. And you want to, so I've always told people, and I met somebody recently who said, listen, I love HR, but I also want to go into accounting because that's it. And funny enough, I mean, globally, you're finding these two merge.
Yes.
And they're paying really well out there.
I'll hold you to that because one of my sisters did accounting as a degree. She went and did the whole CPA. So she's CPA K. And then she just jumped into HR and she just graduated recently because we did a graduation. We attended a graduation in December, November then. For IHRM. And I was actually very surprised. Like, it was interesting because I know accountants tend to be just account. No, the thing is that now this is the thing. There's people, there's culture. Yes.
So if you're dealing with the people part of it, maybe it could work because that's payroll also comes in there.
Payroll.
NSSF, NHIF, all those statutories. Now there's
what compensation and benefits?
Compensation and benefits. So that part gels very well. But let's not confuse the two. You can't do culture. It's very hard because culture is something else.
It's human beings.
You're building teams. You're developing teams. You're building. You're recognizing skill gaps. You're doing. There's so much more because every company right now is talking about we want to develop a good culture, we want to retain our culture.
Yes.
And that's not a finance part of it.
Yes,
That's not
it's
the
not.
payroll part of it, right?
No.
Okay, so just go online, check out what you need to do. All the organizations I mentioned, they all have a website.
Yeah.
HRM does as well.
Yes.
They have a good customer care. Call them, find out what you need, and they'll happy to tell you this is what we need. And then you can jump into it.
Is this a career you can encourage someone just from high school to get into, or college to get into?
I believe so, because when we talk about the careers of the future, with AI and all these kind of things, robotics and everything coming in,
machine learning.
When it comes to dealing with people, this is one of those careers that really can't be replaced by a machine.
I love it.
Yeah, so I would say if you're looking at career advancement and looking at careers of the future, at people and culture, or learning and development or talent acquisition, this still come in. They all come into one basket, and they are not easily replaced by a machine. So 10 years, 20 years from now, when we have flying cars, I don't know if that's going to happen, you will still be relevant.
So I wanted to ask you, all your 15 years in HR, first of all, you need to celebrate your high points that I just mentioned earlier, and maybe a low point that you're comfortable sharing. Yes. Nothing crazy.
That's fine. So the first thing you were asking, which comes to what you're saying now, is I think that like I'm saying, there has been a trajectory, a paradigm shift globally. So you find a lot of global leading organizations, the Coca-Colas, the Googles, these are prime places you want to work in as HR, or even just a staff from any other department, because the culture and the development opportunities and everything, their people and culture has really been amazing on that. So we need to, but now we have companies in Africa. So we're talking about North Africa, South Africa. They're still leading compared to the West, East, and Central. So East Africa or weaker region. But we are getting there. Now, the thing is, as you come into HR, for those ones who want to come in, please know you're coming in to swim against the tide, because you want to push out the norms and the cultures that we had before, and you want to.
So you're going against the grain.
Yeah, you want to be able to fight for this global best practices that they're called. So it's not easy, but you need to do that. So when you come into the hurdles that you face as a HR, I'd say one thing. For 100%, I wish somebody told me this 15 years ago, is get yourself a mentor. Please.
A mentor.
Like I'm 15 years in, and I'm still I still go to some mentors and I talk to them. It doesn't have to be in HR, at least for me right now, but for somebody starting, maybe you want somebody in HR, especially if you're good. Get yourself a mentor. Get yourself a coach. Somebody who will walk the walk with you. Somebody who will be able to tell you yes, no. Go this way, go that way. Do not undervalue the nest. How much you get a mentor. You do the HRM, you do the CHRP tests and everything, but there's a career guidance that comes with having a good, solid mentor. Choose your employer wisely. Because there are employers out there who really are very rigid. They don't want to change. Listen, this is how we do it. We don't have flexible working hours. We don't have
room for
growth. Exactly. So what you do is you start your career with your wings already clipped. So you just continue like that.
So they'll never spread.
Exactly. You'll never be able to spread your wings. I know it's not easy to say in an economy like we have in Kenya right now, and people just trying to just get a job. That's fine. Get that as a stepping stone. Look at it as a stepping stone. But always keep your eye out for the employers that are willing to also challenge the norms. I would say that's a tip I would give there as well. And thirdly is be that person. We always want to be helped by that person. We want to be in that company that is this way. But trust me, when you are speaking out, don't go in as HR of I'll do payroll, I'll do this. No, go in as HR of I'm a strategic partner in this organization.
Yes, I matter.
Make it your business to know the numbers, to know the figures, to know how you are going to help this business as a business partner to go to the trajectory it needs. If you're going to fit into the box that's already been created for you, then we're never going to be able to change it. But if you realize HR is so much more than just onboarding, offboarding, doing payroll, then maybe it's not for you. You need to be able to see beyond that. And so be that person. Be that person that's challenging those norms and pushing those boundaries further away. So that's what I'd be able to say. So in terms of highs and lows, they're always there. There's no career that doesn't have highs and lows.
Definitely.
But if I was at this point, I think I'm going to be speaking to absolutely anyone, not just anyone in HR. If you I lost. So from a career point of view, things happen. We all wake up every year and we have vision boards, and it's my 5-year plan, it's my 10-year plan.
Yeah.
And then you have people like, and then you have God. So if you're spiritual, but God's like, hey, wait up, I have another plan.
Yes.
So coming from a place where I've lost like 3 years of my life, at a part where my career was like at its peak, and I'm like, oh, I need to do this, and I want to be here, and I want to get this award, and I want to be that here, and I want to finish my master's. And then my health took a turn. And in this 3 years, not only did I hit rock bottom, but I also experienced, I had a stroke. Yes. It landed me in HDU and in ICU, and I had to be flown out of the country 3 times because of treatment that's not available here. And in that period, like I said, not only did I hit rock bottom, but I was diagnosed with like 3 chronic illnesses, 1 autoimmune disease. So I'm currently still figuring out this new life and these new challenges. I won't say that days I'm like, oh my God, I've missed so much of my life. But I will say that I'm just very happy to be where I am today. Like just be able to sit here and talk with you and put makeup on and have look good and glamorous
and celebrate.
So, you know, so I think I would say that there's a level of resilience and determination that any career needs. And it's not just when you're planning your career path, it's when you're preparing also for those hurdles that you did not plan. We always plan for the best. We don't expect the unexpected.
Nobody wants that.
So please just remember there's a resilience, there's a determination that comes with, so basically it's a mindset where you're ready to embrace change. I think embracing change is probably the biggest mindset that any person needs to be able to. We all learned that from COVID. COVID threw us into a depth. The whole world was not ready. And we were supposed to embrace change. So virtual learning, virtual meetings, and we survived. The world didn't end up and die. So any career path that you're in, embracing a change, a mindset of change is extremely crucial. It's extremely important. We learned that from a very old book called Who Moved My Cheese? So that's the kind of thing. So I think, so when I say embrace change, and I just realized this is the new me, and I still doesn't change my goals. My trajectory remains the same.
Your life
I'll probably do it slower because I want to love me. And my body needs it. I'll probably do it differently because now my body needs things differently.
Do it.
Exactly, but I will do it. So that's what I'm saying, determination. But this also brings another thing. This life is not one fits all. You may 8 to 5 doesn't fit you, doesn't mean you can't achieve in a 3 to in a 11 to 3.
So you have to be agile.
You just have to be agile, and you need to be able to explain this to your employers. Most employers will understand. If they don't, then it's not the place for you, because your body's already shut down. It's told you, hey, I put you in ICU, I gave you a stroke. You need to be able to realize that I can't achieve those goals without this body, without this health. So this employer is not working for me right now. I need to find one that is. But that's why this 8 to 5 doesn't work for men and women equally, doesn't work for differently abled people differently. So you need to find your rhythm and stick with it. And it's through finding that, and it was very hard and difficult to do, that I was through all these things that was happening to me, still be determined, and within that same time finish my master's. I finished my master's. I graduated my master's, and I was awarded 2nd place as the director of the year by IHRM in all of Kenya, which was huge. So being able to do all these things amidst the adversities was massive.
It's a big deal.
I think the power of adversity is real, because
it can push you to places you didn't expect.
Exactly, and it makes you learn lessons you would never learn anywhere else,
or even in any other way.
Exactly, and I just feel like I am more able to deal with situations more than many of my peers, because I've been to places they weren't, because of the adversity. Exactly. So I think if I want to just wrap it up, and just kind of talk about how to navigate this hardship, like we talk about, is embrace vulnerability. I think we are so, as women, as professionals, we are so scared of just being vulnerable. You need, like for me, I was forced to, right? And then I realized, why wasn't I more vulnerable before?
Because it's not every time that our culture rewards vulnerability.
So that's why we're saying I keep saying this, women need to unlearn what you were taught and then now relearn. one of those things you're relearning is embracing, and
Yeah.
not just being vulnerable, but embrace it.
Yes.
It works for you. It's a tool. Allow yourself and to feel and acknowledge the pain you're going through, to break down when you need to, to just be vulnerable.
human.
That's the only way you can heal. And then you unconsciously are allowing everyone around you to heal. It's a powerful tool. And number 2, seek support. I think we always are like, we're powerful. We have been told we are strong.
Phenomenal.
Like, the lady was just saying earlier, I don't want to be strong.
Yes.
I just want to be a human. I want to be a soft human.
I'm a flower.
I'm a flower.
Yeah.
I'm a delicate flower.
Yes.
Just treat me like that. And
Yeah.
I can still achieve all these things without needing to be strong. Because when you say you're strong, it's like I can throw anything at you. Stop throwing things at me.
Yeah.
But so seek support. We're very, as women, as mothers, as daughters, as sisters, as wives, we're very strong.
Yes, and
so
as
what
friends
happens is
also.
we don't seek support.
Yeah.
And so surround yourself with a support system. It could be immediate family, it could be a group of friends, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Even professionals. But then these people help you go through tough times.
Yes.
I said adopt a growth mindset. You can't do it without a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is what saved me, because I knew I always wanted to do a master's, and I wanted to do my PhD, and I wanted to do this, because I believe in a growth mindset. Like, you need to stay relevant in your career.
Definitely.
The statistic 2 years ago, and I'm sure it's the same right now, is there's 1 million people out there who can do the job you're doing.
Oh yeah.
So please stop thinking that bachelor's degree has saved you and you've got your job. No, you need to remain relevant. And you can't do that without a growth mindset. So, I think view challenges as every challenge you face, whether it's I need to do my master's, my thesis is hard, or I got sick and I'm in ICU, even that's a challenge.
Yeah,
but it presents itself an opportunity to grow, to learn from that. So embrace it and kind of just like look at those adversities as learning options instead of blocks that you can't obstacles. Exactly. And then focus on self-care. We've talked about this even earlier. Self-care is not necessarily, okay, it might be buying the good lipstick or going for your nail polish and stuff, but self-care is also, please, I cannot say this enough. Africans, we don't go for counseling, we don't go for therapy.
No, we don't.
It's ni vitu ya wazungu.
Of course.
Yeah, that's a problem. Please get yourself therapy. There, like we keep saying, there are things you need to unlearn, because societal norms and expectations, our cultures, we come from African cultures where women are told you have to be this way, you have to be this way. You have to unlearn all this. Then this childhood trauma, we're carrying all this, and it comes out through our work, it comes out through our health,
and how we deal with other people.
So prioritize self-care. And then stay persistent. I think persistence is what got me to where I was, where I am. Keep moving forward.
Even like a choice.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you things are not going to get tough. They will get tough, whether it's financially, mentally, physically, health-wise, your body, everything. It can that toughness can come from anywhere, but you need to be able to be persistent. Keep your eye on the ball. Push through. Things will seem tough, but then persistence and perseverance are key to overcoming that adversity. So if you don't have if you don't have perseverance and persistence, then you've hit that's it. That's the end of you. You have to. That's
so you don't
jump.
Need a dead end.
Exactly.
Okay. So I like what you said about people and culture. I like that. I'm also now having to put that in my head. And, I've just thought that I actually went to school and studied HR, but I've never one day held a job in HR. Okay. So, I'm thinking maybe I was listening to you and thinking, maybe I should actually go back and see if I could actually do that. Great. And get into that profession. But I'm so grateful. I'm happy to, just hear from you who's done all this, and the fact that you show people just embrace, being vulnerable and seek support and seek help in whichever way, shape or form. And also just to encourage people to come into their career. And even the people who are out there who are wondering, this is what they want to pivot into. I think, they should come and learn more from you. So what else do you do apart from being a people and culture professional?
Okay, so people and culture is so broad. Like I told you,
but is there anything
it's developing else? Teams. It's but apart from that, I'm focusing. I want to my trajectory right now is moving towards learning and development for one main reason. I believe in skill sharing. Okay, and we have to recognize that the statistics don't lie. There is a skill gap for women and youth that is stopping us from going from the this level to the C level
Yes,
that
okay.
where we need to be.
Yeah.
So I want to make it my job, my duty, and my role to be able to fill that gap. So part of doing that is I heavily train.
Oh, great.
C
So you're a
level and
trainer?
beyond. I'm a
Okay.
trainer. So training is my passion.
All
It's
right,
my calling.
great.
It's what God said He put me on this earth to do. So, but I'm focused on all soft skill trainings
Okay.
and development of teams. But most importantly, something I'm very passionate about is transformational leadership.
So where can we find you?
So you'll find me transformational leadership and conflict management.
Oh, conflict management.
It's extremely important.
Okay.
And having
You start
worked
fights between people?
Yes. So alternative dispute resolution.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
being in HR, also I've seen a lot of whether
Yes.
it's corporate or then unfortunately we also go into
Yes.
some personal
And
parts.
choose sides.
But then you things that end up in court that could easily have been figured out. So that's a skill every leader should have. But I also I'm a professionally trained mediator, so I mediate between.
Oh, great.
So that's something else that I do. You can find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I think you can find me on all social media platforms,
Okay.
but LinkedIn, it's Najda Khan, and it's a lady in a red dress. You'll
Yes.
not miss me
Please
on
don't
that
change
picture.
the picture.
But Najda Khan, and
Yes.
please connect with me,
Yes.
work with me. I'm also a mentor, and
Yes.
I'm currently mentoring 10 senior HR
great.
people, and it's something
great.
I keep doing
Yeah.
also through HRM, but also personally.
As
So you
an
can always reach
HR
out.
mentor, people in culture mentor, do you charge a little bit? So then they come expecting?
Yeah, currently
Okay.
on mentorship, no.
Yes. All right.
I do have a very strict criteria.
Yes.
Because really you wanna invest in somebody who wants to be developed. There's a lot of people who come and they're like, I want to be a mentee, but then they don't even
they don't
walk that walk. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the criteria, but for the training and stuff, yes, I'm currently working on small workshops.
Okay.
And those are pretty affordable.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
it's fine.
I'm happy
So,
to hear that.
yeah.
So thank you so much for coming. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to Najda about her HR journey and what the career has been like for her and what it actually entails. And those of you who are encouraged, like me, you can jump in there and be HR managers. Sorry, people and culture managers of tomorrow. Thank you so much. Until next time on Career Cruise. Bye-bye.